So it went from literally taking a class at Michael's in the hub,
and then
just
now
being
it's
like,
my
I can
full
do this.
time,
Yeah.
and now it's a full-time business.
Wow.
I'm not going back to the corporate world. I cannot.
Wow. do you love it? I mean, is it something that you
love it.
Do you? Okay.
Till today, I wake up every day so excited to just start my job, to see who's reached out to me, what they would like me to make.
Wow.
Coming to you straight from Fremont, California, this is the Fremont Podcast, dedicated to telling the stories of the past and present of the people and places of the city of Fremont, one conversation at a time.
Hello, Fremont. This is Andy. We're at a 7-Eleven in Irvington. You're listening to episode 62 of the Fremont Podcast.
Now, here's your host, Ricky B.
Yes.
Where did the name come from? It's Dream of Me, right?
Yes, it is, because my name Sapna means dream in Hindi.
Oh.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to incorporate that into the name somehow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you were thinking about the name, you were just like, my name means this, and we'll just go with Dream of Me.
Yeah, why not?
That's cool. I love that. That is really cool. I got together with Miles from Fremont Gear and then the Fremont Clubhouse, and we were going to throw the birthday party for the city of Fremont, which is, I think the birthday is like January 23rd or something like that.
How many years was that again?
That was 67
Oh,
years.
67.
Yeah.
Okay. 67.
So Fremont, as of this last January, is 67 years old. And then we had on the podcast early on Ashley Wong. Do you know Ashley at all?
No.
So Ashley Wong was on the Food Network's Halloween Baking Championship.
Oh,
and
nice.
so we had her on the podcast, and so I reached out to Ashley during that and said, "Hey, could you make us a cake for the Fremont birthday party?" And she was like, "I would love to, but I'm just so busy right now." So I said to Sarah, my assistant, and I said, I need a baker. I need a Fremont baker to bake a cake for the birthday cake for the city of Fremont. And she found you, and I think this is awesome. Like the cake you made was so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
For the party. You came out to the party. Was your family there as well?
Yes,
your
my
family
husband
was
and my
there?
2 boys were there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited to have that cake there and have you there representing. So that was cool. I loved meeting you in that way, and I think it was just really cool. It's been till now we've been able to get you on the podcast. But so you're from Fremont, or no? You said you moved to Fremont when you were 5 years old.
Yes. So I was originally born in India.
Okay.
I moved to Fremont when I was 5 or 6 years old. So I stayed here throughout schools. I went to Maloney, Centerville, and Washington.
Okay.
So after I graduated Washington High School, I lived on campus. I went to school at UC Berkeley. So I was there for 4 years, also Bay Area.
Nice.
And then after that, I relocated to San Diego for 1 year.
Okay.
So
was that just for fun, or
yeah,
was it
just for
school,
fun.
or,
I was dating my husband back then.
Okay.
So we're like, let's try something new. We both love San Diego. So we moved down there. It was really fun. We had a lot of fun. We were there for like about a couple years. But then all our families were up here, so we wanted to come back here. We got married up here, and then we settled down in Fremont. We lived in Pleasanton for 1 year, but then we came back to Fremont.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So, and then what did you go to school for?
So I actually went for communications. I did a double major in communications and sociology.
You double major people, I tell you what, you guys are phenomenal.
Oh.
I have this story that I could tell that I probably won't because it just won't. It takes a long time. But I met this student in college that was a pre-med major who actually ended up winning like a national award for an essay he had written on something that I couldn't even understand just by the title. But then he also was like a piano performance major as well. And I was like, how do you do like intense music and intense medicine all at the same time? And he kind of blew my mind. So I think anybody doing a double major is pretty phenomenal. So that's pretty cool. Sociology, you said, and communications. That's awesome.
Yes.
What did you want to do?
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I loved both of those majors. I enjoyed all the classes. And I was like, communications is pretty broad. And sociology you can always use. You're always working with people. So it's good to have. But then I got into marketing when I graduated.
Oh,
so I was a
nice.
marketing executive for I graduated in 2006 till for 6 years.
Okay.
So I did marketing.
Okay.
I did marketing for numerous different kinds of companies. I did online marketing. And then when I moved back to the Bay, I worked for a nonprofit in education, and I did marketing for them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Then
this whole time you were dreaming of a bakery. No.
I
Okay.
was never into baking.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
But I always loved art growing up.
Oh.
Always. I did lots of paintings. I attended a lot of art classes. So that was like my way to unwind, is I would always get into art and do that.
That's cool.
So then in 2012, I had my oldest son. So then I took some time off of work.
Okay.
And then a couple of years later, I had my second son. So then I was just busy with the kids, and I took time off of work. So I was a full-time mom at home. But, always doing art on the side.
Yeah.
Like that was always my favorite.
Yeah.
And I remember for my son's 4th birthday, my older son's 4th birthday, I really wanted to bake him a cake. So then I attended one Michael's class at Fremont Hub.
Really?
Yes. And they
That's
had
cool.
just a basic cake decorating class.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it.
Wow.
I loved it. It was so much fun. It was like art for me, just to decorate, make the flowers and whatnot. And then just surprisingly crazy, it just took off from there. If I look back, like me 7-8 years ago, I never thought I would be like a baker.
That's crazy. That is really,
Yes.
really cool. So it went from literally taking a class at Michael's in the hub,
And then
just
now
being
it's
like,
my
I can do
full-time.
this. Yeah.
And now it's a full-time business. I'm not
Wow.
going back to the corporate world. I cannot.
Wow. do you love it? I mean, is it something
I
that you
love it.
Do you? Okay.
Till today, I wake up every day so excited to just start my job, to see who's reached out to me, what they would like me to make.
Wow. What kind of cakes or what kind of bakery, like what's your repertoire for baking?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I'm so glad you guys found me. It was so much fun. It was something so
Awesome.
different to do,
Yeah.
and to come out there and
Yeah.
to see everybody there.
Yeah.
A lot of Fremont natives, so it was exciting.
That was cool. And I love the fact that I didn't know your whole story, but I love the fact that you have been in Fremont for most of your life.
Yes,
and
I
so
have.
it wasn't just
I love Fremont. I do.
great.
It's a lot different now than
Sure.
it was,
Yeah.
30 years
yeah,
ago.
Yeah.
But I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. I
that's
love
great.
the location. I love the people.
Yeah.
It's a nice city.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we found you and that you were able to make the cake for the birthday party.
Yes,
That's super
thank
cool.
you.
So yeah, so what's in your repertoire for baking? Like what do you normally on any given day, what kind of stuff are you making?
I mean, it's all kinds of cakes. I have a lot of people reach out to me for big birthday milestones. First birthdays is huge. A lot of people reach out for first birthdays, or they'd be a lot of like quinceanera cakes I've made. A lot of wedding cakes I've been doing recently. So
Okay.
nice, like, 3-4 tier cakes. And a lot of baby shower cakes, anniversary cakes. So
Nice.
it's basically everything. And also like other desserts that I could do, like
Okay.
cupcakes and custom cookies, which
Yeah.
are very popular now.
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah.
So do you? I'm curious to know if you have like any kind of like other influences on your baking at all. Like I know that there's a few bakeries around town that I actually would love to get to to interview, but it might be specialized in like Indian baked goods or Hispanic baked goods or whatever. Do you have any kind of like anything that kind of like is your that influences you when you make your different bakery baked goods?
I mean, not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an Indian background.
Yeah.
But I mean, Indian food already has a lot of different kinds of sweets. I mean, I don't know if they're so big on their cakes. I mean,
Okay.
I know there are, but they're
Sure.
known for like little like sweets
Yeah.
and whatnot. So I haven't incorporated that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yes.
cool. What do you love? Like, what do you love to make? Do you love decorating the
Yes.
special cakes?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It is art for me to just sit there and to like either make buttercream flowers on the cake or to add, like this floral stuff on the cake
Yeah.
or to sit there and make little like fondant figures.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like art for me, like
Yeah.
I'll just zone out. I'll
Yeah.
turn music on or I'll turn like a YouTube video on in front of me or whatnot, and
just
that's
go
it.
to work. That's awesome. So what are some of the things that you enjoy doing outside of baking? What is it?
Travel.
Okay.
My family and I are big travel fiends. We were just in Disneyland last weekend.
Awesome.
Yes, so we love traveling.
That's cool.
But otherwise, I like, just hanging out, spending time with my kids, going to their games. They play a lot of sports.
That's cool. What are some of the places that you've enjoyed traveling to? Like, where are some of the things that what are some of the places that you've been that you've enjoyed the most?
Well, I think our family, my favorite trip ever was before we had the kids. My husband and I went to Italy.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It was 9 full days in Italy and 5 full days in Paris.
Okay.
So that was amazing. Like, we went everywhere from like Cinque Terre to Rome to Venice. So that was amazing. This year we're going to try to maybe go back because I have a big milestone birthday coming up. I'm not going to say which year, but it's coming back.
It's got to be 21.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's cool. So you went to Italy. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That was amazing.
Okay.
We've also done like overseas, the Asian side over there. We've been to India. We've been to Dubai, Singapore. So we've enjoyed those places. Our kids love like Hawaii and Mexico. They want to be near the beach.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. Very cool. You said you had 2 boys, right?
Yes, I
do. Do they love what you do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They love it.
Do they like being around when you're making something?
Well, now they just see it so much, they just kind of ignore it. But once in a while, my son would come up to me and he's like, Mama, I want to help you, like, kind of make a figure, like make a cutter out of something.
Yeah.
So I'll have him help out.
We'll be right back. You can hear the rest of this conversation in just a moment.
So can I get your name and what you're doing out here?
Okay, my name's Pat Finch, and my friends Barb and Dee and I started doing it during the pandemic because we were bored. We started picking up litter along Niles Boulevard and the side streets. We actually started along Alameda Creek, but so many people are cleaning up along Alameda Creek. We hit downtown Niles every Wednesday. And I'm with Greater Niles Villages, which is a group. It's a nonprofit group that formed a few years ago, right before the pandemic. And we tagged on to them. So now we have Greater Niles Villages volunteers also, who show up every Wednesday morning from 8:30 to 10. If you would like to sign up, come on down, 8:30, over by across from Joe's Corner in the parking lot.
How much litter was there during the pandemic, and has it increased or decreased?
It's about the same. So every week we all fill up our plastic bags. So, and we have grabbers. If you come 3 times, you can have your very own grabber provided by Greater Niles Villages. So the more the merrier. Because what we do is if there's like too many of us to just go along Main Street to the right, what we do is we go to the left. And if there were a whole bunch of us, we could go down the side streets, down 2nd Street, down 3rd Street.
Where do you find the most of it these days?
It's everywhere. So, and I know the City of Fremont and the Niles merchants appreciate us.
Have they contacted you?
Oh, well, they thank us all the time. They pick up they say we pick up the smalls, and they pick up like when somebody drops a refrigerator off in the middle of a field here in Niles. They'll take that away. So we just get the smalls. So, and we do recycle the cans that we pick up. So we try to be green also.
That's great.
So
Thank you.
That's about it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And now, I'm sure Ricky needs to talk to you about our sponsors.
Dale Hardware is now ready to open their own pet center. Now you can get all of your pet supplies. You can get everything you need for your furry friends right at Dale Hardware. On top of that, Dale Hardware is the only hardware store in the country that has a destination center for Milwaukee tools. There are more Milwaukee tools under that roof than any other retail establishment in the country. Even with these big changes, the heart of Dale Hardware has not changed. So come on down to Dale Hardware and let a specialist help you find exactly what you're looking for with the type of care and attention that hasn't changed for over 65 years. Buying a home is a big decision. When I'm trying to make a big decision in my life, I turn to family. Family generally has my well-being in mind. They want the best for me. Whenever I visit Jennifer at Petrocelli Homes in Niles, she treats me like family. If you're in the process of buying or selling a home, turn to family. Turn to Petrocelli Homes. And now, back to our conversation. Do you make your cakes at home, or do you have a kitchen that you work out of?
No, I'm at home right now. Okay. I may get a kitchen eventually, but right now I'm at home.
I was just talking with another baker that we had on the podcast a while ago, and she's looking for a kitchen to work out of, and
it's tough.
Ashley was looking for a kitchen as well. And I thought, I was like, you all need to get together and find a kitchen. Yeah,
that's true.
And like collaborate on the space and the use of it, and that way you can kind of split it all up. And I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I know it. I mean, I like the convenience of having my work at home. Because I can take breaks whenever I want, and I have odd hours. Like I'll work late at night when the kids are asleep. I'll work early morning, so I like that part. But I mean, there's just not enough space.
Yeah.
We need more space for all our supplies and tools.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So a couple things that I'm just curious about when you get to. I want to kind of go back to. Making cakes. When you have a client that comes to you and they're trying to decide what they want, do you kind of have a way that you approach the client about like helping them figure out what they want? Because I don't know, I think that like if you were to ask me what do I want for my birthday cake or even my son's birthday cake, I might have a theme for the party and that would make it a lot easier. But do you have a way that you kind of like talk people through discovering what they want for their cake? So what do you do?
So sometimes a lot of clients come to me with a picture of exactly how they want a cake. Now, I can't copy someone else's work, so it's similar. I'll tell them I can tweak this, and this, but they're very specific of what they would like.
Okay.
Sometimes some of them come to me with a theme or a color, theme that they would like. So sometimes I would go through my older cakes and show them that I've done this, but then I can mix it in with this and add this. Sometimes I'll get some inspiration pictures from Google. Maybe I'll do a couple sketches for them or whatnot, and then show them what they like. Most of the time people are like, we've seen your work, we trust you, just be creative. That's what I love the most. Yes. So then I can just kind of do my thing.
So what do you do with that though? Like you just do your own thing. Like for instance, you came up with the we already talked about this, but you came up with the birthday party cake for the City of Fremont. And I don't think anybody gave you direction. I think they pretty much just said we need a birthday cake for the City of Fremont. But what you did is you took the invitation or the social media post that was made for the City of Fremont birthday party, and you kind of took those colors and kind of took the theme that was seen in that and just kind of went with it. Like, where do you find, like, what sparks your creativity when you're just helping somebody who maybe doesn't give you any direction at all?
I mean, usually sometimes I'll ask them, can I see the invitation?
Okay.
And then can I see your background? Can I see the decor that you're going to have? So then I kind of go by that.
That's cool.
Matching maybe the invitation a little bit, the colors, the scheme. Yeah. So then, that usually works.
Do you make the really big cakes, like the 3-tiered cakes? Do you?
Yes, I do. And I mean, all my wedding cakes are at least 3 tiers, 3-4 tiers.
Wow. And you transport all that in your vehicle?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So most of the wedding cakes, they want delivery.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
But all my cakes already come assembled. I don't go and assemble anything over there. So everything is assembled here. I have a dowel through it. It's packed very, very tightly in a box. It's in the back of my SUV, and I have the mats, like the nose.
Have you ever had any bad stories? Because here's the thing: is I do watch the Food Network and I watch the baking championships.
Yeah.
And part of the challenge that they have is they have to Cake Wars or whatever.
So they transport
they have to transport it from their baking station over
all
to the presentation.
But they make 10 tier cakes.
But even that, like I was just watching an episode the other day. and the guy's cake was only a 1 or 2 tiered cake, and it was slouching.
Sliding?
And it was because it had too much buttercream between the layers. And so the judge was like, how much buttercream did you put in there? And he was like, yeah, I put a ton in there. And it was kind of like, yeah.
You know what the trick is? The trick is to have it in the fridge right before you transport it.
Okay.
Because the longer, because it's so hard. Buttercream hardens in the fridge like pretty hard. It's like kind of glue. It keeps it together.
Yeah.
So I don't like having it at room temperature and then transporting it. It's in the fridge till the last second.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then it goes in my trunk.
Yeah.
I just had a wedding.
So you have almost all success stories then.
I mean, I'm sure there's been
something along the way that
I mean, but something, knock on wood, anything has happened. I've had enough time to fix it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then I would be crazy stressed. Like I remember, it was Super Bowl Sunday, and my husband and I left to transport a wedding cake all the way to Manteca.
Wow.
And we were hitting a lot of traffic because it was Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. So that one I was a little bit nervous
about. Did you have to
turn
the air conditioner on?
Oh, the AC's on blast. And my husband's like, my hands are numb. I can't drive. My hands are so numb. I'm like, I don't care. Put on gloves. It has to be freezing in here.
That's so funny.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But as soon as we got there, they had a huge fridge. So they were able to put the cake in the fridge for a while. So I felt better.
Yeah. That's really, really great. Is there any particular type of cake that I know you said that you just, you love it when they just give you a clean slate and you just like do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything that you just love doing? Like it's your favorite thing to do when you do cakes?
Like what? Like a theme?
Designed a theme or whatever. Yeah. Is there something that just really like makes you like, excited?
What's in style now are like really tall cakes.
Okay.
Not just like a lot of tiers, but just a lot of layers inside.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of like boho themed cakes where it's kind of like rustic themed, and you put like floral and like some greenery on it, and like some edible gold on there. So like that's very popular with me.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Do you find that the like you were talking about, you have the dowels that you put in there and stuff like that.
Yes.
Is that all something that you had to figure out on your own? Like, I mean, is there a way that you like figured out how that's supposed to work?
All YouTube.
All YouTube.
You don't know how many hours I've just spent right before going to bed till like late night just going through YouTube videos. Yeah. And then I follow a lot of great people on Instagram that have all these tips, which are important to know. So there's just so much to learn, and I know there's so much for me to still learn after this, you know?
What about flavors? What flavors do you like? Do you just do you have a particular, do you have a set of flavored cakes that you tell people?
I have like 8 or 9 popular flavors that I do.
Okay.
That people are usually pretty happy with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. What's your favorite?
I like cookies and cream.
Okay. Yeah.
Marble is popular also, red velvet.
Okay. Now you told me something just before we started recording, and I'm curious about this. You said that you can't eat gluten.
I cannot.
So you can't eat most of or anything that you make.
I cannot eat anything I make most of the time. So I usually have my husband as my tester, or my kids, which they love.
For him.
Yeah, and my kids, which they're very happy about.
So how did you? So when you made that first cake for your son, his 4-year-old birthday,
yes,
you know, what I mean, is that something that you were? I mean, obviously you've been aware of that for a while, that you have gluten, you know, allergies or
no, just a sensitivity,
not
allergy.
Okay.
So I can have a bite or two.
Yeah, but to really like make it work, you need a taste tester that you can trust, like your husband.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Awesome. That's awesome. Wow, that's incredible. So, what other? I know I asked you this before, and you kind of gave an answer, but do you make anything that's gluten free? I mean, like you said, you made other baked goods. Do you make anything at this point that's gluten free?
No, I don't, because my kitchen is like, you know, if I start saying I make gluten free, then I don't want to have the cross contamination. And my kitchen has everything.
Yeah.
You know, even when people specify that they have a nut allergy, I make sure I tell them my kitchen still has nuts. It will not be in your cake, but it's still in the kitchen.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible. Well, I will look forward to. Hopefully, I get to have another taste of a cake that you make sometime. That'd
Maybe
be great.
I'll bring over some cupcakes next time.
That would be awesome. I love cupcakes. Wow, this is great. So you've lived in Fremont. You said you went to all the schools, not all the schools, but all your schooling was here in Fremont.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you remember that you like about Fremont that are special memories for you, or places that you've enjoyed as you grew up?
I remember I used to go to Great America every summer.
Okay.
So now I got the season pass for my kids.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So I make sure I take them back there.
Okay.
I mean, it's just everything is the same yet not the same. It's like hard to explain right now.
Yeah.
Like the whole auto mall area, I think that wasn't there.
Changed so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's changed. It's a lot more diverse now than it was when I was growing up. I like how it's so central. It's easy to get to San Francisco, the South Bay Peninsula.
Yeah.
So I really like that. My kids love it here. They love the schools
That's
here.
awesome.
They have a lot of good friends.
Yeah. So what do you do on a free night out? Like if it's not raining, which most of the time it's not, but if it's not raining and it's just a really nice night, you're going to go out with your family, just have a good time in Fremont.
Family,
Where do you
friends.
go? Where do you go?
Fremont, I wish they would...
You just gave me the look. You're
I
like,
know. I don't know if there's a lot of places to go out in Fremont, but it's easily accessible to step out.
Yeah.
I wish Fremont would maybe make. I mean, we love the whole area. We go to Lazy Dog a lot.
Okay.
I like the ambiance there.
Yeah.
I wish there were more restaurants like
Yeah.
that opening up.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for downtown Fremont. I don't know how long that's going to take. I like the Fremont Street Eats Friday nights.
Okay.
That's fun.
That's fun. Yeah.
But I just wish we had like a little bit more like restaurants where we could just go and hang out and have fun.
Yeah. Well, you do know, and this is by the time this airs, it may or may not be open. But so we're in Devout Coffee right now. If you're listening to this episode and you're hearing squeaky doors open, and we're back in the basement of Devout for this interview, but Devout is opening a new restaurant in which they'll be serving not just coffee but food as well.
Oh, nice.
So they have pizza and other
that's fun.
good food, but they'll be opening in the new what was the Slap Face Coffee location over on between Peralta, or on the corner of Peralta and Fremont. And so and I know that this month, the end of March 2023, the City of Fremont is putting on its first ever restaurant week. And so they're highlighting as many restaurants as they can in the City of Fremont. So
that's nice.
Hopefully there'll be people out there like you,
Yes.
and even like myself, that will say we need more restaurants, that will
Yes.
discover new places that we didn't even know existed. So that would be really, really cool. So, well, Sapna, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yes, of course.
Loved
Thank you for having
on
me.
here. Yeah, thank you for not just rescuing us, but owning the opportunity to make a cake for the City of Fremont, and delivering so well. And I've enjoyed having you on the podcast and getting to know you as well.
Yes, you too.
That's
It was
great.
so nice to be here.
Maybe one day we'll have you back on here again. I'd enjoy that.
I look forward. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep.
This episode was hosted and produced by Ricky B. I'm Gary Williams. Andrew Cavett is the editor. Music is provided through soundstripe.com. You can find links to our social media and other content at thefremontpodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe wherever it is that you listen so you don't miss an episode. And if you're so inclined, leave a kind review so that others can find the podcast. Join us next week on the Fremont Podcast.
They say we pick up the smalls, and they pick up like when somebody drops a refrigerator off in the middle of a field here in Niles. They'll take that away.
I am sitting on top of an abandoned refrigerator in the middle of a field in Niles. And the number that I need to call is 510-979-7500 to report illegal dumping. All right, well, I am told after that phone call that because it is next to the railroad track, City of Fremont can't pick it up, and that I should call Union Pacific. And that is also probably why it's been sitting there for 2 weeks. Okay. Back in the car. We need to call Union Pacific at 1-888-877-7267.
The Union Pacific Railroad Critical Call Center.
I'd like to report illegal dumping. Andrew, in Fremont, California. Well, it's on it's near the crossing on Nursery Avenue. There's a refrigerator that's been there for about 2 weeks. City of Fremont, who I called before, said it is between 25 feet, and therefore I should call you guys. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Bye. He was nice.
This is a Muggins Media podcast.